Hey Surfs, you up for movie night?
That depends. What do we get off of Netflix?
The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride.
Really? You know the direct-to-video sequels from Disney range, as a whole, from pretty weak to flat-out terrible, right?
Oh, yeah, I know. I just heard this was the worst Lion King film made, so... You know me and my bad movies.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I know some people like Lion King 1.5, but, I found it to be kind of...
That's not entirely true.
What?
It's not the worst Lion King movie ever made. By far.
You're not talking about the version with people and they speak all old-timey and,
That's Hamlet.
So is it a spin-off, a reboot, or...
It was written by William Shakespeare.
It could be written by Martin Scorsese for all I care. I tell you, a guy who writes that boringly, his career's over.
Oh, give me strength. No, I'm talking about Circle of Life.
A bad Lion King product. How can that be?
Well, you know how Frozen kind of took over the world? How it seemed to spawn a sentience all its own? It gradually took over, its songs infiltrating the public subconscious, its catchphrases permeating the collective consciousness? Heck, who bought all those bug-shaped gummies so we could be like Timon and Pumbaa?
Whoa, wait. Your mom used to buy you real, actual gummy bugs for snacks when you were a kid?
Yeah. What kind of candy bugs did you eat as a kid?
Candy?
Moving on. Point is, The Lion King was 1994's Frozen, minus the whole viral video of its fans singing the movie's anthem thing. And if you think it's bad Frozen stole away Epcot's Maelstrom, remember there was a time Simba and Buddies had not one but 3 attractions at 3 different Walt Disney World parks? You could either go to the Animal Kingdom and watch the uber-popular and recently transplanted high-energy theater spectacular Festival of the Lion King.
From 1994 to 2002, you could watch a retelling of the story with puppets at Magic Kingdom with The Legend of the Lion King.
Or you could kick the lame, yawn-worthy, and completely forgettable Epcot show Symbiosis to the curb.
See, once, a long time ago, the Land Pavilion was sponsored by Kraft Foods, Inc. They funded this unique pavilion to showcase yet another aspect of humanity. Because see, in Future World then, that was the thing. Health, transportation, communication, marine biology, imagination, all that awesome sauce. In the land, you could explore a greenhouse full of naturally grown fruits and vegetables.
Which you can still do.
Listen to food sing.
Or I'll take a flight to California any day over that.
Or watch a dry special about technology and its effect on the environment. In 1995, after The Lion King proved its worth at the domestic and international box office, Symbiosis officially shut its doors to make way for Circle of Life, an environmental fable.
It's an odd setup. Simba is enjoying a quiet drink in the jungle.
Because, lest we forget, lions live in the African savannah, not the jungle! This movie has totally lost me on all credibility!
It's not even 5 minutes in. Pace yourself. As I was saying, Simba's drink is interrupted by a tree falling and splashing into the river. Upon a brief investigation, he finds his childhood friends, Timon and Pumbaa, are cutting down trees to make way for their latest business venture, the Hakuna Matata Lakeside Village Resort.
Coming soon to the Walt Disney World Resort, right on the Epcot monorail track and only 2.5 minutes walk from International Gateway, come visit the Hakuna Matata Lakeside Village Resort. When visiting Epcot, be sure to visit our other groundbreaking attractions such as Body Wars, Maelstrom, Horizon, Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, The Living Seas, Journey into Imagination, Food Rocks, World of Motion, El Rio del Tiempo, and other timeless attractions. Only $49.99, complete with dining package, opening fall 1997.
Now, Simba notices that damming up the river cuts off the downriver water supply, forcing him to pontificate, Ferngully style, about the harmful effects humans can also do to their environment if they're not careful. Wow, good thing they paved 300 acres in pristine swampland to tell us that.
At first, Simba shows them, in his mystical crystal ball-powered pond, the most feared and despised creature of all Earth, man!
Simba explains that when there were only a few hundred or so people on the planet, things were good. We humans only took what we needed. But as we continued to procreate, we demanded more food, more space, and more energy. At first, our wacky sidekick buddies only see the entrepreneurial aspects, but Simba ain't having none of it. Simba then shows them a collection of clips of us humans doing what we humans apparently do best, polluting.
Ugh. This montage makes Blackfish look subtle. Oil spills, deforestation, car exhaust, distressed endangered species, burning forests, polluted riverways, pretty much everything short of Captain Planet villains cackling with despicable glee. Hey, wait.
What?
Simba says our environmental concerns arose from too many humans, overpopulation and all that.
Yeah, so?
What exactly is he suggesting should happen?
Kill all humans! Kill all humans! Kill all humans!
Would you stop hacking into my sound files? Seriously, man. No, Simba does not advocate mass genocide. He changes the show's tune and starts showing the audience all the good we Homo sapiens have been doing to help our planet. Planting trees, releasing endangered species, cleaning oil spill, wildlife victims, and Earth Day rally from 1990? Yeah, sure, why not?
Soon, this after-school special... Oh, I'm sorry. I meant wonderfully crafted, brilliantly executed, unique Walt Disney World experience like no other wraps up with Timon and Pumbaa happily volunteering their services to help save the planet. Of course, Simba reminds them about their little construction project, and the buddies set the fragile ecosystem right again. The film ends the same way it begins, and frankly in the most overindulgent way possible. Pumping up the speaker's full volume to Circle of Life while visually assaulting you with every nature documentary clip in existence.
And that wraps up...
Dude, look at the birdies! Oh my god, it's a tree! Baby gorilla! Rock! African sunset!
You got it, Tap G.
A bald eagle! Giraffe! Geese! Monkeys!
That's enough.
Shut the front door! It's a whale! Trees! It's a herd of elephants! Look at whale tiger cub!
Stop it or I will tase you.
Shutting up.
So, what's your spin?
Let's just say I'm not a fan of this attraction.
Neither am I.
First of all, it banks way too much on the grandiose scale of the original Lion King movie. It starts with the huge bombastic Circle of Life, the James Earl Jones narration, all the clips of the animals, and it ends the exact same way.
And we're not talking about the actual film itself. We're talking about this environmental fable. I mean, it starts with James Earl Jones' narration, it does all this, it builds up to this grand epic scale, and then you have an animated portion.
The film itself, I mean, it just has a very awkward setup. It opens big, it has a flaccid middle, and then it ends big. And so it feels less like a story and more like a Q-tip.
You don't... The thing is, with most story structure, you're supposed to start out small, build up big, and then boom!
Climax.
Yes. And this just doesn't do that. It starts with its swell, and then you I don't know.
It banks on your familiarity with The Lion King, which back in 1994, 95, 96, that was expected. You see Timon and Pumbaa, and you think, oh, it's like that movie. You see Simba, and then you hear James Earl Jones. You hear the Circle of Life song. So if you had just watched Lion King the night before, or you had just watched it in theaters back in 94, you're supposed to get excited.
Yeah.
And here, 20 years later, you're just kind of like, nah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same impact as if you had just watched Lion King and you got into this and it's like, oh wow, this is going to be really cool. But I do have to say, it's a lot of live action for, what you advertise as a Lion King centric story.
It's about what, 8 minutes of
It's 8 minutes of live action. There's almost not even a minute and a half of animation. But the animation that is there, it looks darn good.
It's very grainy footage, and it's obviously very old footage. I mean, like, there's that Earth Day clip from 1990, but the animation is nice. It's very fluid. It looks wonderful, and it sounds great, too. They got all the original voice actors back. James Earl Jones, Matthew Broderick, Nathan Lane, Ernie Sabella. There's no question about that.
Honestly, it looks as if the animators, literally put down their pencils, took a lunch break, and alright guys, let's animate Circle of Life and Environmental Fable. And they literally just did it straight from.
The sad part is that's the best part about this attraction. Everything else is so flaccid, so weak, and uninspired.
It's what they kind of lead you in with. I mean, you see the very tacky decals, 25 feet to Circle of Life, 50 feet from Circle of Life, and you see all this kind of fun thing that's happening on your way in. And
you would think at least Timon and Pumbaa would be pointing you the way to Soarin', because at least people have a harder time finding that.
That's true. It is all the way downstairs.
Now let's talk about the message. It's supposed to be teaching us it's supposed to be inspiring us to take care of this earth because we have so little of it left, take care of the endangered species. Does it deliver that message?
Not very effectively. The story is horrendously unbalanced, but there's really just one good reason for that. They try so hard to get the basic personalities of the characters in there.
Yeah.
Now, you need good characters to tell a good story.
Yeah.
They literally took Timon, Pumbaa, Simba, flattened them, made them completely one-dimensional, just to serve the purpose of what little story they're framing around it.
Let's see. Simba's the wet blanket. Come on, guys, listen to my story. Timon's the smart aleck, always making stupid comments.
And honestly, Pumbaa's just there to be sidekick fodder. There's
Pretty
really
much.
nothing.
And that one questionable joke when they see the Hoover Dam.
Oh yeah, that's
true.
It just and like from the weird tone to just this mixed message about humans are terrible. But they're kind of good. Yeah, you're doing good,
It's almost
son.
like a very condescending pat on the back.
Yeah, it's like, you know what, kid? You're doing good, but look at all this you could be doing.
I think that derives mostly from the fact that, with the original clips, they show them in the full theater scale. So they're these huge African clips and all the nature documentary stuff. But then when they show humans planting trees and driving electric cars and cleaning animals, things like that, it's played at barely even a third of the screen. They're very condensed. So then it's like, so you're not doing as much.
I have to say, the clip of like the electric car, that's actually kind of amusing to me because this is long before electric cars would even make so much as a debut.
Yeah.
This was 95, wasn't it?
Yeah. And even when they show the clips of humans doing more and more stuff, it doesn't even feel that bad. It just feels like they show you clips of Las Vegas aglow and construction projects, and you're like, okay, I guess Simba's telling me I should feel bad about this, but, you have these clips that look all right. Well, maybe not the guy making sandwiches and the mustard on the sandwiches. I don't know what that's about. And then Timon saying, like, oh, bigger, better, we need to think bigger.
Yeah, this attraction is just so strange.
Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of tell what they're trying to do, and, there are some people out there that this makes kind of a big impact. But this is a very basic story, told very basically. And now that we're in 2015, it's been 20 years, 20 plus years, as a matter of fact, since Lion King made its debut. They have not updated this, and honestly, it doesn't hold up.
At least convert it to digital. Move it to Animal Kingdom. Okay, you've told me before that Animal Kingdom wasn't around in 1994, so at least, it makes kind of sense for it to be there in the Land Pavilion. But it really has no excuse still being there today. Either move it to Animal Kingdom, update it to digital, shut it down or something. I know I complain of wasted space in the theme parks, but come on. And not to mention that theater. Everything is so many different shades of brown. It's so uninspired and dull.
Yeah, no kidding. And come on. If we can move High School Musical from Tomorrowland to Disney's Hollywood Studios when that was still a thing, why can't we just take this very simple theater show, move it to put it in Rafiki's Planet Watch?
At least.
Oh my goodness, it would be so much better there.
And it still doesn't make it a great show, but at least it's in a better environment to tell the show, no pun intended.
Yeah,
Ultimately, I have to give this a 1.5 out of 5. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, this is just, it's almost not entertaining. And even though, and I'm going to draw a comparison here that's really going to be really far out, Stitch's Great Escape may physically assault you, but this is just not entertaining. At the very least, Stitch's Great Escape makes an attempt to entertain you. So, to all the people who have been saying, oh, you guys have bagged so hard on Stitch's Great Escape, I'm about to do you guys a favor. You're welcome for this. I'm going to give Circle of Life, an environmental fable, a 1 out of 5.
Just a question of perspective here. You gave Stitch's Great Escape a
1.5 out of 5.
So, boom!
Yeah, you're welcome, guys. Alright, so that's a 1 out of 5 from Surfer Clock and a 1.5 out of 5 from Tap G.
Yeah.
Circle of Life, an environmental fable, is wheelchair accessible. It also features assistive listening, reflective captioning, and audio description. The show is about 12 minutes in length.
So, now the question becomes, Is Circle of Life worth your time, energy, money, or even attention? Dr. Cox.
There are just so very many ways for me to say this to you. Never, not in a million years, absolutely not. No way, Jose, no chance, Lance, yet, negatory, nah, and of course my own personal favorite of all time, man falling off of a cliff. No! Oh, Dr. Cox?
Look, in all honesty, it's really not worth being a Disney World attraction. It's much better suited as an after-school special, or even maybe just moved over to Animal Kingdom. It's in the wrong place, it strikes the wrong tone, it sends mixed messages, and perhaps worst of all, it fails to entertain. Epcot has had a rough track record when it comes to mixing education with entertainment coherently, and this may have been one of its better examples.
Compared to, say, Innoventions, A Real del Tiempo, Spaceship Earth.
Sure, but it doesn't hold up well. It's been over 20 years since the movie came out, and it hasn't had any significant updates, if any. So, ultimately, your time would be better spent in the standby queue of Soarin'.
And then your vacation will come full circle. When you leave, other vacationers will come to Epcot and not do Circle of Life. And so, we are all connected in the great circle of vacation.
James Earl Jones, you are not.
Simba, come to the dark side.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone. I'm Surfer Clock.
And I am your father.
And we're What's the Attraction?
Well, our work is your vacation.
Alright, that's it. I'm getting the taser.